Ceremonial cacao is something that's very special in my life, and it's becoming very popular around the world right now. There's a bit of an archaic renaissance, an archaic revival that's happening where modern society is adopting ancient practices, a lot of which come from Eastern philosophies and Eastern spirituality, and also a lot of which comes from Native American traditions. And Native American traditions are really rooted in nature, loving nature and respecting nature, and also communing with nature, mostly through plants. And cacao is a very, very special plant that we get to commune with, that brings us a lot of support for our day-to-day life, a lot of support for us to be able to create goodness and beauty in the world. So cacao is basically chocolate. It's the original chocolate, the way that the Incan emperors and the Mayan and Aztec kings consumed it in order to commune with the divine, in order to have a deeply connected experience of their life so that they could build the pyramids that they built and the temples in the mountains. And cacao is also used as currency. So it's very sacred, it's very revered. And now among the spiritual communities and the wellness communities around the world, it's become a very common beverage. People will do cacao ceremonies together, and then they'll sing mantras, or they'll dance, or they'll meditate. And what's wonderful about it is that for us in the corporate context, in business and in government, it's something that we can also use in order to unleash more creativity, in order to have more real connections with people, to be able to be vulnerable, in order for us to be able to shift the way that we're perceiving the challenges that we're facing, from feeling like we need to compete and win and dominate, to simply being with each other, supporting each other, and finding new, much more innovative solutions and opening up new possibilities in our work. So this cacao comes from Colombia, a very special region of Colombia called Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. And in this region, which is a marvel of geology, you have the ocean and then the jungle and then the mountains, all within a couple of dozen miles, basically. It's a very, very interesting place. Well, there are 4 indigenous peoples. The Kogi are perhaps the most famous among them. They live up in the mountains, and they're basically praying to the land all the time. And it's said that their role on this earth is to maintain balance and harmony for all of humanity. So they're very mystical, very special people. And then their cousins, the archaic, who grew this cacao and made it available to us, they interface much better with our society. They dress well, they're business-minded, and they're vying for economic self-determination. So it's thanks to them that we're able to get this very special medicine, basically, medicine for our hearts. And so I have a deep, deep, deep gratitude for the archaic people, and also for the people who have created this product and exported it. The name of the company is Origin Cacao. And yes, so a cacao ceremony can really be anything that we want it to be. The beauty of ceremony is that it brings us into a state of presence and connectedness with the people that we're creating a ceremony with. And to express ceremony in our own unique ways allows us to weave sacredness, to weave mindfulness, to weave a loving presence into aspects of our lives the way that we live. And to use cacao in a corporate context could look as simple as getting together in the meeting room in the morning and drinking a cup of cacao instead of drinking coffee, and taking a breath together and expressing some gratitude, and maybe expressing something vulnerable. Like, I have a meeting today with a client and I'm not sure how it's going to go, and I'd like to ask for your support. Or I'm feeling like there's something about our culture that doesn't support me, and I'd like to discuss that with you so that I can feel more safe in the workplace. There's a lot of ways that we can have vulnerable conversations, and the cacao can support us to do that. And the way that cacao works in our body is that it opens up our heart, quite literally. It stimulates our heart. It opens up our blood vessels, and it allows us to shift the locus of our awareness from our thoughts and identifying with our thoughts down into being in a presence of not needing to rationalize and understand everything. Just feeling, connecting with our intuition. There's an easefulness about that. And Cacao brings us a lot of support.
Awesome. We're all familiar with the benefits of a morning practice and how that can set the tone for the rest of the day. So I think it's pretty easy to see that having a ceremony to begin your day can also have a profound impact on how you show up in your work and in the things that you do throughout the day.
That's right. All right, shall we drink?
Yeah.
All right, well, I would invite us before we take our first sip, just to hold the cup in front of our hearts. Just to feel this part of our body. Feel our heart, the warmth of it. Just visualize how it's pumping life in each part of our body. And then with that, tuning into something that we're grateful for in this moment. So for me, I'm grateful for this beautiful place that we're in. We're in a beautiful villa in Ubud in Bali, which our dear friends have made available to us to create this video, to share with you who's watching. I'm deeply grateful for the connection that I get to share with you who's watching this video. I'm deeply grateful for the people who are around here, supporting this experience, creating a field, this group energy here that's carrying us. I'm grateful for the Cacao and for the Arhuaco people for making it available to us. And I'm grateful for my willingness to show up, even when things are scary and difficult, and doing it anyway.
What I'm noticing as you speak is this level of intentional presence that you're bringing, and the gratitude, the expression and the feeling of gratitude. It kind of emanates from your being, and it opens up trust in my being. And I see that as one of the very, very important qualities of leadership.
That's right. Thank you for reflecting that back to me, Josh. I appreciate you.
I'm excited for this cacao.
All right, let's drink.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up, guys. Oh. You can just feel the aliveness.
It's very good.
Palate. It's very good. Yeah, it really is.
I just want to drink it all. Is that okay?
And there's more if you want more.
Very good.
Yeah, there's other content that for anyone who's curious about how to prepare cacao and wants to learn more about it, that's accessible, and we'll link to it in this video here. So yeah, thank you for being part of this, and I'm feeling ready to dive into some conversation.
Awesome. So you've touched on, just talking about the cacao and opening this space up, you've touched on some really important pieces.